Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Moms on a Mission. These are calls that I host every Monday night, and I always have two guests on to share their mission with the Juice Plus company. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I started these calls because I saw the significance of moms networking and hearing from each other and hearing each other's stories. And I saw such value in that. And I know at conference, I always meet somebody new and hear their story. And it's always something that I can use when I'm talking to a customer, because I can draw from that person's story and their experience, because I may not share that same experience. So I always see sharing stories and networking so valuable. So I have two ladies on tonight, Amanda Donnelly and Margot Klein, and they're both Canadian gals, so yay Canada. And I just want to thank you ladies so much for joining us tonight. So my name's Jenny Little. I'm a senior sales coordinator that I live just north of Toronto. And I actually came into this business as a desperate mom. I sought the product out because I was so exhausted. I'm a mom of four, and my two younger children are twin boys. And when they turned a year, I was so exhausted all of the time that I couldn't start my day without a cup of coffee. And what I did about that was I bought a coffee machine specifically for my bedside table. And my idea was to roll over every day and make myself a cup of coffee and drink it in bed to start my day. And that was the best solution that I could think of possibly at the time. My background's in education. So before I had the boys, I worked as an educational assistant. And what I loved about that job was the sense of community and the sense of giving back and the sense of doing something every day that made my heart feel good, even if it was something really simple. I knew I was making a difference in someone's life. So when I had the boys, my husband and I decided that I would stay home and raise the kids, and I'd wait until they were 4 or so and off at school. So, and that was a good plan. I mean, it was good for us. But when my husband found out that I had bought a coffee machine for my bedroom, he said, "You can't live off coffee. You need to figure this out." And that's when I reached out to a good friend of mine, Alyssa Harriman, who I knew and trusted as a nutritionist. And I asked her what I could do to help support my body to get through this exhaustion. And that's when she recommended, a clean diet and lots of water and exercise and sleep. And I was doing all those things. And I said, "Well, what's this Juice Plus stuff about?" And that's when she kind of shared with me that it was just fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It was vine ripened. It wasn't ripened on a truck like all of the produce that we get in our stores. She talked to me about the tower garden and how I was able to have a garden that I grew myself without the inconvenience of tilling and soil and digging and weeds and everything else that comes along with a traditional garden. And that just made sense. So I ordered the tower garden and the capsules and the shakes right away. And within 2 days, I remember I reached out to Alyssa to ask her if there was caffeine in those capsules, because I felt so amazing and I had never felt so good without caffeine. And she affirmed that there wasn't, because in a good thing, because I was giving them to my boys at the time. And from that point forward, it just made sense. I joined the business actually just as a customer to offset my own cost. It was either she was going to make commission on my order, or I was. It was only $50 for me to join, so that just made sense. And I didn't really think about the business as a business opportunity until Alyssa shared with me the marketing plan and shared, our mission is just to help others. And that's where I came from anyway in education. I just wanted to help. And I really liked that idea. And what I discovered was there were so many women like me out there that were just absolutely exhausted all of the time, and they didn't know that there were better options. So when I started sharing that with people, it resonated well with them, just like it had with me. And my business started to grow. And it took me 5 weeks to get to sales coordinator. And in that time, I made almost $2,000 in bonuses. And that felt really good for me as a mom, because I wasn't contributing financially to the household at this point. And that wasn't a very comfortable place for me to be. I wanted to be able to be equal to my husband and contribute equally. And I didn't feel like I was doing that. And that's why the business made sense to me. So I've been doing it now for about a year and a half. And at the 1 year point, I kind of assessed my business and I realized that I was making equal, if not more than I was in my previous job. And my previous job was very taxing emotionally and physically. And I was driving to a job every day and packing a lunch and buying a new outfit for that and spending gas money. And this was a job that I did from home, taking care of my kids, making my own hours, meeting amazing people, getting free education. And I was earning equal to, if not more. And so that was amazing to me. And that's when I really saw this as, this is it. This is my career. This is what I want to do. And in this journey, like I said, I've met so many amazing people and learned so much and been able to help. And my mission is to share this with other moms out there that just feel like they have to depend on a job or depend on a man or depend on family to help support them and their children. And this business has allowed me my heart to be filled and my bank account. And that's always a nice thing. So I'll excuse me, I'll introduce Amanda to the call. So Amanda Donnelly lives in Orillia, Ontario. She currently works for the post office part-time. She used to work at the casino, and she's a thriving single mom, and she has huge education. I didn't know all that, university and stuff. Look at you, fancy. And yeah, if you want to share your product and your business story with us, that would be wonderful.
Sure, absolutely. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming out. So as Jen was saying, I used to work at Casino Rama, and I was a supervisor in the box office, so I worked nights and weekends, and I had a baby girl, Phoenix, and so she's at school during the day. So I'm missing out on everything because I'm gone at night and on weekends, and she's at school during the day. I said, no, I can't have this anymore. I want to raise my baby girl. So I thought, what's the best job? I decided to go back to school to get my teaching degree so that I could be with her as much as possible. But that was a lot of work. I had to carry my house, my mortgage, my car, my bills, all of that as a single mom and go back to school. So by the end of the 4 years, because I had to go back at my undergrad and then the teaching degree. So after that, I was spent. I was so exhausted. I never ate fruits and vegetables. I was just go, 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 eating out quick, terrible stuff. I felt awful. I looked awful. And May 20th, all of that changed. I went to Alyssa Harriman's event. She was having a wellness event at Brewery Bay. It was May 20th. I'll never forget it. I ran in late and I was like, I'm here because I had heard about it and I wanted to go, and I kept missing. So finally I'm like, no, my body is telling me I need something. I went, I learned all about the nutrition with the fruits, the vegetables, and the berries. And then I learned that I could also make money and have a business as well. I have a huge family, so it just totally made sense. I knew I was going to share this product with everybody and anybody I knew. So right then and there, I signed up for the product, which was the capsules and the shakes, and then the business part as well. So it's only been 8 months, and it has been the most remarkable experience of my life. Like, honestly, just as Jen was saying, the community and the people that you meet is phenomenal. But the results that you get, like instantaneously, like I was exhausted. And the first 2-3 days, I was like, wow, I have so much more energy. I have digestive issues too. That was another reason why I was interested in the product. So I was finally going number 2 and I was like, yay, happy dance every time. So that was huge for me. And then my daughter was getting the product for free. And so she was like, she used to come home, I swear, it felt like every other month with some sort of bug. Sick, runny nose, whatever. She has allergies. I've noticed all of that cleared up. She's never sick. If she does, we just double up. So it's honestly been the biggest blessing of my life, like financially, health-wise, everything. Having my own business, like that's huge. And so I share it with anybody and everybody. So that's basically my story.
Right. So as a busy single mom, what has been the biggest challenge for you doing this business, introducing something new, and how have you overcome that?
Okay, so like I work at the post office part-time and whatnot. So usually I work 9 to 5 at the post office. But then what I do is I just plan events. I love events. I love having people come to my house or my mom's house or anywhere. We were just at the bowling alley on Sunday. And I just invite people to come and just hear about the product. Because I had no idea that this product existed, and we've been in Canada for over 20 years. Like, oh my word, I have to share this with people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I do. Lots of events in the evening or on the weekends. That's how I balance it.
So I know a lot of people, and myself included, I used to be a huge introvert. I'm definitely working on that. So talking to people and being outgoing is a struggle that I have to overcome all the time. So if somebody was interested in owning their own life and having a business like this, and something like selling or not being able to be comfortable to talk to people, if that was the barrier that was stopping them from doing that, what kind of advice or how would you take that person under your wing to help them with that?
For sure, absolutely. And I actually have quite a few people on my team that were the exact same way. Lindsay Anderson's one of them. She's like, I could never do that because I can't sell anything or talk to people or I'll throw up. And I said, but you know what, Linz? I said, it's not that at all. And she has Crohn's. So she is noticing huge benefits from this product. So all she's doing is sharing that experience with people. And she's already got reps and she's getting tons of orders. She's like, this is so easy. I'm just talking about the product and my experience. I said, exactly. It's just like if you go to a restaurant and you have a fantastic experience, you want to share that. She's like, yeah. So that's what we do.
Is share.
And then people are very appreciative. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's about sharing and caring, right? Like I always say to people, look, if this isn't for you, I totally understand. There's no obligation. Just know that I'm sharing this with you because I do care about you. And I've seen such an improvement in my life. And I would hate to keep this a secret and keep it to myself. So thank you so much, Amanda, for sharing that with us. So now I'm going to go on to Margot. Margot and I actually met at Law. So our company puts on a leadership advancement weekend. I believe they're doing it every year now. And if you read a certain mark in our company, it's an all expense paid trip. So we were fortunate enough to be able to be flown out to Whistler, BC this past summer. And we had amazing training. That's another really great thing I love about our company is that you're not alone. There's amazing training all of the time. And what a great way to do it in Whistler. And Margot and I connected out there. Margot is from Saskatchewan. She's a former hairdresser. She joined the business in November of 2013 and she has 2 kids. So Margot, what is your product and your business story? And what is your mission with this company?
Okay, I'm so happy to hear that you're an introvert because I am too. Really, anyone can do this because even just talking on things like this puts me out of my comfort zone. And I mean, I'm just always trying to grow and stretch and be better. So my product story started about 15 years ago. My mom's very open-minded and wonderful doctor recommended the product to her. And she loved it immediately, luckily for me, and decided she needed to have all her kids on the product. And there's 6 of us. So she also joined the business. And back then I was in university and I was playing basketball for the university team. And so, I mean, I took Juice Plus and I believed in it, but I probably wasn't as, diligent about taking it. So I know I was getting the benefits from it, but I wasn't really super committed to taking it. Still loved it. Been taking it for that long. And then I started having my kids. So his name is Ben. He's almost 12 years old. And so, of course, I've always made sure that he takes his Juice Plus, and he's a Juice Plus baby, and my 4-year-old is too. But up until about, I'm going to say 3 years ago-ish, I was sort of always on the back burner and didn't take care of myself properly. So my husband and I really decided to start taking our health seriously and really use Juice Plus to the full advantage. So we did Transform 30, and the results are just amazing. I mean, lost the weight, kept it off for all these years. Better hair, better skin, more energy. It's a ripple effect. You start exercising, you just feel good, and so all of that, awesome effects. But I used to suffer from asthma and allergies really, really bad. I had a terrible skin allergy and I would get scars from it. And the doctors would just over and over again, just give me more prescriptions. There was no explanation for it. And so once we really cleaned up our diet and I doubled up on my Juice Plus, all of that is gone. I don't have to use an inhaler. I don't have to take any prescriptions, nothing. So that's been huge, life-changing for me. And if I could help someone else feel better in that kind of way, then that's kind of what it's all about. But so you think if I had great results like that, I'd be like, get me in on this business. Well, no. My mom over the years, of course, always mentioned to me that I should join. But again, I was like, I can't sell stuff. I'm very shy. But I didn't really like my work. I mean, doing hair is good and I liked it, but it was definitely not something I loved, and I had to miss all of Ben's activities. You know, it drove me crazy. So she knew that, and so she kept offering it to me, but I just couldn't hear it. And then about 2 years ago, my sister, my younger, smarter sister, decided to join the business after hearing another one of the awesome Prevention Plus talks that our company puts on, and she just decided she had to join. And then she started off pretty well, and she made some bonuses, and my mom very slyly mentioned to me how much money my sister had made, and I thought, okay, what have I been doing all this time? I need to get in on this. I'm telling people about it anyway because it's helping me so much. So I joined, and I look back, best thing I've ever done. My life is 100% different. Traveling, you know, I work with my family and friends. It's the best. I got off to a fast start just by sharing. I built a nice little team. I made all those bonuses in a year too. Got to go to Whistler. I mean, it's amazing. My life is amazing. And in July, I got to retire from doing hair. And so I just get to spend time with my kids, and they're both really happy and healthy. They're both Juice Plus kids. And Lydia, who's going to be in kindergarten next year, has never had an antibiotic ever in her life. So to me, that's just why I love it. And now just seeing, like, I feel like I was asleep for all those years, just sort of like going to work because that's what you have to do. And now I'm awake, and I want to help other moms feel like that. I want anyone to feel that dream, to feel that freedom. And I feel it now. And so, I mean, the best is yet to come. It's only been 2 years, and it's been amazing. So I love it.
Awesome. So what is, and I may already know the answer to this question with you being an introvert, but what's the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome with this business, and how did you do that?
Yeah, that is it for me. I'm very shy, and I have a hard time putting myself out there. So I think the best thing was just using social media for me. That's been my best way of putting it out there without having to really get in people's faces and drip on people. So it might be a little bit slower for me. I drip on people that way, and also, you know, in person. But that's basically how I've built my business. It's been very effective, and it's gone really, really well that way. And then, you know, the more of these things you do, the easier it is to talk to people. And I find I love sharing the product, but the business part is the best part, because I really do want to help people find, you know, get to live their dream. So you just got to get past it and move on.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing. You know, for me, it was really uncomfortable for me to go to a job and know someone else was raising my kids. But that was less uncomfortable. It was less uncomfortable for me to do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes when we look at, you know, the greater of two evils or the lesser of two evils, it's just, you have to choose. And for me, I was just like, I can't sell anything. I can't. And I'm like, oh, I can't send my kids to daycare and go to a job. I cannot ever. That's like not even an option. So it's amazing when you dig deep what you're capable of doing. And a lot of the times I even use having twins as a metaphor for that. Like, I know all the moms on this call, having your first baby. Imagine bringing your first baby home and excuse me, having your first baby come home, and then someone say, hey, can you take my baby for a week? You'd say, absolutely not. I'm so busy. And I didn't have that option. I brought 2 babies home, and it was just like, hey, deal, right? And you do. And I think the blockage is a lot of people have to, here, I'm just going to mute the line here. I think a lot of people have to just understand, like, what is more uncomfortable for you? You know what I mean? Going to a job that you know there's no security in, or owning your own life. And I think that when it gets down to it, that's what it is. And this is an opportunity to make a difference, own your life, work with who you want to work with, raise your kids. And it's such a huge deal for me. So Margot, what would you say your DMO is? Like, what's your daily method of operation? What does your day look like?
Well, life has gotten really good. I just get up, get my one kid off to school. Then me and Lydia, we just hang out. I get on my computer. I check my virtual office. I check my messages. I get on Facebook. And it's basically that all morning. Mm-hmm. I'm on one of those things pretty much all morning, unless we've got swimming lessons or whatever else. But that's really when I get a lot of my work done. I get in touch with my reps, or I get in touch with customers, people who are interested. And that's when I get the majority of my work done, is in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we can just focus on other things, getting to school and all that kind of stuff. But I just make sure, and I've got certain days where I talk to my reps, certain days where I'm looking to contact customers, do my follow-ups and stuff like that. So, and that's been something I've gotten a lot better at lately. I just used to, just go for it every day. Now there's a little bit more to it. There's more people to look after. So
yeah, a little bit more refined. Yeah. And you know what? And it's different for everyone. There's certain people that will, speak to 3 customers and then 3 reps that day or whatever. Some people designate certain days to it. And you just have to do what works for you. Right. I'm a very visual person. So my office is there's lots of things pinned up because I need to see them and sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. No, I mean, everyone does it differently. There's some people that are very comfortable just on their iPhone or their iPad doing this business. Some people do it from their computer. And what I love is that, when you go on vacation, you're still earning money. If you have international business while you're asleep, there's somebody somewhere else making you money. How cool is that? Right. And, a lot of us, if not all of us, are used to a job where we trade time for money, and we don't have to do that anymore. And that is so cool. And just to come back to it, we're helping people. We're giving people something that they need. And it's just about, like Amanda said, I didn't even know this was in this country. Like, I didn't even know this was a thing. And it's just letting people know that. I'm kind of pissed that I wasn't shared this before, right?
You hear that so many times.
Yeah. And I saw Lauren Slocum recently at our regional training, and she talked about this book where this gentleman goes to heaven and he finds this box, and I think it was St. Peter said to him, don't open that box or I'll tell you what's in it. He said, it's all of the things that you could have had if you had asked for it. I mean, imagine all of the people, if we just shared this, would have been like, oh my goodness, I need that, right? There's so many opportunities, but we're so scared of not sharing it because we're afraid of, oh, that's silly, or no, or whatever. And it's just breaking down that barrier and just knowing, like, if you had the cure for cancer, would you share that with people that you loved? Absolutely. Right. And we have not a cure for health or a cure for cancer, but we have something that can substantially improve people's lives. How can we not share it? It's our moral obligation to share it. So I'm going to open up all of the lines. If anyone wants to thank you, ladies, for being on tonight, or anyone has any questions specifically for you. So I've unmuted everyone. Does anyone have anything they'd like to ask?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us tonight. Is there anything that you wanted to add about your journey, or anything that you would like to share with somebody? If you had somebody that joined our business yesterday and got on this call, what would you, let me just unmute these lines. If you had somebody that just joined our business yesterday, what would you, what's the number one tip you would share with them to motivate them to continue with this? Amanda, do you want to start?
Sure, yeah. So for myself, it's having the launch parties. I actually do have 3 people this week that I got joined on the product and wants to do the business as well. So I have 3 different launch parties, one for each of them. and just to tell your family to come out and support me. I've started something new and exciting. Come and hear about it. Leave your wallets at home. It's just for information. And then, I mean, the product sells itself. It is amazing. And then when we tell them about the business opportunity, they get even more excited. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Tip. That's great. Margot, what about yourself? What's the one thing you'd share with somebody that just joined today?
You know, I think it would be just keep having events, keep having them, keep planning them, and do a launch, right? And even if no one comes, keep doing them because eventually they're going to come. And I've heard that from so many leaders and so many training. Your mom might be the only one that comes, but keep having them. Stay consistent because it'll catch on. And the people that are supposed to be there and join your team or go on the product are going to be there. And so it doesn't matter if it's 2 people or 10 people. Just keep doing it, keep trying, keep going, and it'll all add up. It really will.
I think that's really key because I think a lot of people feel like if they get 20 people in a room, they're somewhat successful. And if only 2 people show up, and I always say to them, you know what? The universe sends who's supposed to be there. And if you have 20 people, then you're going to divide your time amongst 20 people. Whereas if you have 2, you're going to be able to really have quality conversations with those 2 people. So just allow the universe to direct it the way it's supposed to go. One of my first events that I did, one woman showed up and she only showed up for the free coffee. And I was very discouraged. And I just thought, oh, I can't do this. But you know what? Being consistent and doing them, like if you're doing like I do this event every Monday, and the more Mondays I do it, the more people get on, right? Just keep on doing it because, you know, it's so corny to say it, but if you build it, they will come. It's just true. And that's actually a really great movie to watch because there's a lot of things in that movie that relate to our business, but it's true. Just be consistent and keep on doing it and don't be discouraged. Just keep on going. So thank you so much, ladies. And I'll end the call on that note. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and giving up the past 30 minutes to be with us tonight. So thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
It was great.
Thanks.
Good to meet you.